Welcome to worshiptutorials.com. My name is Brian.
And I'm Nick.
And this is Nick, and channeling terrible Ted Nugent today for us.
Glory.
We are here today demoing another pedal from WillSledgeEffects.com. If you've not noticed this by now, here at Worship Tutorials we love Will Sledge and his beautiful handmade pedal creations.
Yes.
Today we are looking at the White Horse. And if you see the pedal board, it is the white pedal that has a horse on it. That is hand-drawn by Will, by the way.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. And he told me that he draws those all by hand. He's a great artist. And actually, I've seen a couple of them of his, and they all look the same. So, I mean, he recreates them well. But the White Horse is his Klon-inspired pedal. It's actually more of a Klon KTR-inspired pedal. Mm-hmm. So if you think about flavors of overdrive, what do you have, Nick? You got the Tube Screamer.
Tube Screamer. That's very, very overly used. Everybody has one, basically. Some form of it, whether it's Ibanez or not, but they have it. But I would definitely say that very popular are the clone-type pedals.
Yeah, which would be a Klon.
Clone and Tube Screamer. And so that's what we have on this board is a Tube Screamer and a Boost and a Klon. So
we do, actually. So yeah, well, this is a great sounding handmade Tube Screamer inspired pedal. The not Tube Screamer, Klon inspired pedal.
Come on, Brian.
I know.
It's amateur hour.
So the KTR is what, $279?
Yeah, right around $279.
And this one will run you about $100 less.
Yeah.
And it gets a pretty similar tone. So we're just going to play it for you really quickly. Here are the controls on the pedal. We're going to zoom in on it. This is the level control. After that is the drive control, and the drive or the gain control acts a little differently than most. So if you're all the way left, it acts as a clean boost, and your level is controlling how much you're pushing the amp with a clean boost. As you turn it to the right, you're engaging more of the drive sound. It actually blends it in, so it's not like a drive that goes from 0 to 100 like most pedals would do. You're actually you're getting into a different sound territory over here. You're going more from boost to drive. And Will says on the instruction manual for this thing that right in here is where they find the sweet spot to be, and that's just going to depend on how your amp is set up, how your guitar is set up, your playing style, but we found that to be the case. We kind of like it right about there.
Yeah.
And then this is the treble or the tone control. Turning it further to the right is adding more treble to the circuit. All right, so Nick is going to play this MJT Telecaster loaded with Porter vintage Tele pickups, which sound awesome. We're running it through. We're running it through this board. We're just basically going to show you the White Horse and probably some RV6 reverb.
Yeah, I have spring reverb on right now. We'll go through some clean sounds with just this and the Agape Tribute set on 9 watts, and then we will get going with the White Horse.
That's right.
Let's see how she sounds.
This is our clean tone. What position are you in?
I'm going to go into the middle pickup position.
All right, so right off the bat, what I hear is the White Horse sounds. It's got a really rich bottom end, and it's less sort of mid-rangey than a Tube Screamer.
Yes,
a Tube Screamer has its own sort of imprint that it gives on your sound when you kick it in. We actually have a Tube Screamer here. Do you want to compare the two of them?
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
So the pedal, the black pedal next to the White Horse is Will Sledge's Veil, which is his 808 style drive on the right side with a boost on the left. 808 meaning Tube Screamer. So why don't you play a little bit again, turn on the Klon, turn off the Klon, turn on the Tube Screamer, and turn it off.
Sure. So here's the clean tone. I'm going to be back in the middle pickup position.
How would you describe the differences between them?
Definitely I think how it's set right now, the White Horse is definitely just a bump in lower end and just a little more beefiness to the tone. Has a little bit of dirt, but so the Tube Screamer set up, and this is the gain. It's very, very low, and the volume's up, so it's really pushing the tubes. But I would definitely say that it's very mid-range to almost high mids.
Yeah.
It sounds great by itself and at low gain, in my opinion. I don't like Tube Screamers when it's really hot.
Yeah. Well, Tube Screamers are meant to do what they say and push the tubes, push the front end of your amp, and it pushes it in sort of like it pushes the upper mid range. Which is like a magic frequency for electric guitar.
Yeah, I mean that's what guitar is. It's a mid range.
Yeah, and when you're playing in a band, it really helps your guitar cut through a mix.
Yeah.
To me, the White Horse has a lot more, just like it's a lot more bottom end response. It's bigger. I like them. I like having them both on the same board because I feel like they complement one another well.
Yes.
And if you do what we've done here and you run the Tube Screamer into the White Horse. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna push that tone, give the color of your signal of the White Horse rather than the Tube Screamer.
Yeah.
And I believe when it's after everything, the Tube Screamer makes it sound a little harsh. And
when the Tube Screamer comes last.
Yes, when it's last in the chain. So this is a perfect
Tube Screamers are great for pushing other things.
Yes,
that's sort of where they shine. Why don't you play some bridge pickup for us? Because when I want to get like a really big drive sound, I go bridge.
Sure.
Pickup. Very nice. So Nick is going to play a little more with the Telecaster here, and I'm going to kind of dial through the knobs and show you the different sounds you can get. Here we go. So we kind of ended where we started there, but as you could clearly hear, if you turn that gain or drive knob to the left, it becomes, I would almost say that's like a treble boost.
I would
it's a boost, but it's a lot of high end.
I think so because it's the treble knob is a little different than a tone knob, and so it's really the tone knob is just a frequency sweep basically. So the treble is really pushing a lot of the higher end, and so I think if you're going to use it in that boost section, you need to have that treble down. And ours was up since it was in less. It was in that sweet spot.
Yeah. So. Another thing that you probably heard was as you dialed the drive to the right, that drive setting it brought like low end with it. And obviously more drive than just pushing the front end of the amp. Okay, I'm gonna play this Reverend Charger 290. Got a little behind the back.
No.
We're stuck.
Oh no!
The old guitar cable is stuck on something. Okay, I think we got it now. So this Reverend Charger 290 P90 pickups. These are actually Porter P90 pickups. I like Porter pickups.
Porter and Will Sledge is,
by the way,
pretty much where it's at.
I like them.
I like them a lot.
And so these pickups are significantly different than Telecaster pickups.
Very.
But sound very good. So this is what this pedal will sound like through the Porters, and Need some volume there. Here we go. Here it is in the middle pickup position, clean tone. And moving to the bridge pickup, I like the bridge on this guitar a lot. Here we go. That was not very tasteful.
That was hilarious.
If you have a Bigsby, you should use it. But not like that.
Not like that. It's another lesson, Brian.
I know.
How not to use a Bigsby.
I need to not teach it. All right, so there you have a couple of different kinds of pickups. Both of them sound great through the White Horse. This is becoming like a go-to drive setting for me. I used to run a Tube Screamer most of the time if I want a big sound. But I kind of like this... it does sound bigger. It sounds a little more... that low end I really like.
Yeah.
It just helps beef up the tone a little bit. We have a Soul Food on the board, you might have noticed, and we're going to show you the difference between the two of them, because the Soul Food is about the most budget-friendly Klon-type pedal that you can get. What is the Soul Food, 70 bucks?
65, 70 bucks, yeah.
Yeah, and used they're less, and they're a great sounding pedal. But we're going to show you the difference. One of the things about the Soul Food is it gets really harsh and thin sounding. Anytime, especially when that treble is up above noon.
Gosh, yeah.
It's bad.
It's real
so,
bad.
But you notice when we turned the treble all the way up on the White Horse, it did not sound harsh.
Yeah.
It sounded pretty good to me.
When the gain was up.
Yeah, if you're
in like that boost section and the treble's up, it does get harsh. But
yeah.
When we're in the gain section,
yeah.
it still sounds good.
But all in all, I think this is one of the cool things about this pedal is you can use it as two different kinds of pedals. You can either use it as a boost or you can use it as a drive. And it has like a really nice sweet spot between the two where you get a little bit of both. And if you run your amp like we are, where it's about to break up if you hit it hard, it really, really sounds good.
So we're going to go and demo the Soul Food and White Horse side by side. For you guys, and we've set it up the best we can hear that it's similar. You will definitely hear the difference, and actually, hopefully, you can hear that through the video. Definitely listen to this through good headphones or a decent set of speakers, so you can actually hear the bass response from the White Horse as opposed to the Soul Food. You might notice too that the knob settings on the two pedals are not in the same place, and that is because really they're not quite, they're inspired by the same sort of sound, but they're not set up the same. So what we did was we got the White Horse where our favorite setting, and then we tried to tweak the Soul Food to sort of match that sound. Yeah. And we got it as close as we could. I mean, they're in the same ballpark for sure. Definitely, yeah. So here we go. I'm going to do it on the bridge pickup position, and we'll give you the White Horse first. Here's the clean tone. So definitely, you can tell that the White Horse is definitely more full. Has a less kind of a harshness to it at the top end, as opposed to the cheaper Soul Food, which is made of very cheap components inside of it. That's how they sell it for so cheap. You got to cut corners somewhere. You have to, and this is an amazing pedal for if you're wanting to get into that and you get it modded. It's an awesome pedal for cheap. But gosh, you cannot beat the sound of the White Horse. For the price range. You cannot beat it. The Soul Food is great, but if you're going to spend some money, definitely spend it on the White Horse, in my opinion, over any other one, because It's that good. It really is. It's 100% hand wired. He does all of the art himself. He's a local guy to where we are, and so I like that. But and it's just another bro.
And he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
I've met and hung out with Will a couple times, and he's a worship leader as well. And all of his pedals are either names or references to Jesus in some way. So the white horse is obviously a reference to Revelation, the white horse, and that's a pretty cool thing as well. It looks good. It has a cool vibe to it.
Stellar.
If you take his pedals apart and look at the build quality, it's top notch. They are extremely well made. I think if you go to his website, willsledgeeffects.com, he has some pictures where you can see the guts of some of his pedals, and you might think it's like like a fast food place. Where they dress the food up for the photo op, but none of the food you actually get looks like that.
That ain't true. It looks like that on all of them.
It
we've
does.
Never looked at.
I've taken a few apart that I have, and they all look that good.
Yeah.
So extremely well made pedals. I would say much more durable, just based on that fact, than sort of a production sort of pedal you can get. And really, a lot of clones, as they call them with a K, the clone, they're pretty popular these days, and a lot of high end pedal makers are building them, and they're all sort of in that $150 to $200 price range. And I think the White Horse competes with all those extremely well.
Extremely well.
So yeah, we love Will Sledge Effects. We love the White Horse.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching here at worshiptutorials.com. If you like the video, you can like the video down below, and if you're on YouTube, please subscribe, and you'll see more of this kind of stuff in the future. Thanks again.